This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints. Discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. We have a brand new segment for you. This is one I came up with while I was painting. I've been doing a lot of painting, as you know, for the patron and some other things. But when I'm sitting there, I like to listen to what other people think on YouTube. And you know, it could be in our community, it could be modeling or YouTube or board games or whatever, and maybe sometimes there's some things outside the box, but these are some of my favorite videos on YouTube. But mostly these are board game videos that I listen to in the background, and I'm just amazed at some of these people, because I actually ended up subscribing to a bunch because I just really enjoy what they do. So I figured I would point out some of the videos that they do for a week during the week that I really enjoyed, and maybe that you can discover and find out how great some of these people really are. Now this week we have Vaughn Kettering. I can never say his name. This guy is an amazing guy, and this week he did a video, and I'm showing some clips here, where he discusses some of the uniform choices he had for 28mm US Airborne. I really like what he does. I think he's one of the most fantastic artists around. This guy can paint out of his shoes. He's really just does a great job, and he's very passionate, and that's what you're going to see as a common theme here, is the passion that people have for it. Warhammer TV, I couldn't help but jump onto. They showed, this. It's Soul Wars. Now this has me very intrigued, and this little skit that they put together just pumps you up even more. If you haven't seen it, go to Warhammer TV and check it out. My boy, Game Boy Geek himself. Now listen, when he came out of the womb, they just knew to rhyme something with the man, and that's why they called him Dan, because I don't think anybody does it better than Dan. I love what Dan does. He does his 2-minute Allegro, and then he gives you the so you can watch either one. You can watch his 2-minute compact version of something, or you can watch his full-on I'm going to explain everything and I'm going to take you all the way through it video. He did top 10 games and anticipated games of Origin, and boy, what a fantastic job he did. I really enjoyed this, and I really can't wait to go see these games, okay, now, because I am going to Origins next week. So Dan, thanks a lot. You made my list look like I'm a piker, for crying out loud. Ricky Royal. Ricky Royal is one of my favorite guys, and everybody always talks about the legendary video that he did for Mage Knight. Well, I think that is one of his greatest videos, but every video this guy does is just spot on, clear, concise, well spoken, well filmed, and this is why Ricky Royal is Ricky Royal. This week he did a game called Cytosis, and it was very interesting. It was something that normally I wouldn't be interested in, but boy, let me tell you something, Ricky can sell a game. And if any of you sponsors out there, go get this guy. This guy's very special. Someone that has really come and I've subscribed to, and I am very interested in everything she does, and that is the girl from Beyond Solitaire. Forgive me if I don't remember your name, but every video I become more and more impressed with her. This week she did Arabian Nights and did a fantastic job. This is a game I've always been on the fence about, but her video has made me want to hunt this thing down and get it, because it is absolutely spot on fabulous. Now, this isn't a video, but I was able to listen to a podcast on YouTube, and it was very good. And DriveThru Games, or formerly known as DriveThru Review, just like we used to be formerly Rob Orr, now we're Rob's Tabletop. Everybody's changing names. He did FM15, which is his podcast, and this is one of the best podcasts around. Rolling Dice and Taking Names is another one that I really enjoy, but this one hits home. He is just, Joel is I always talk about passion and being well spoken. If you have those two things, they can take you so far. But when you have knowledge on top of that, knowledge and just overall does his homework on things, Joel Eddy is one of the best in the business. And this week on FM15, he really hit some highlights, and a couple things that really stood out is Gaslands, that you heard us talk about here, and Necromunda, which is something that we are working on over there. And the main topic was board game community, and the way he talks about this and the way he spells it out is just a fantastic job. Very open, very thoughtful, very passionate about what he speaks, and I really enjoyed this. But this week's video of the week goes to, who else? Probably one of my favorites, and probably one of the best of the best. Okay, and that is my boy Rodney Smith at Watch It Play. He covers a game that I've been itching to cover. We've talked about here, we've gone over some of the rules, but he is looking at Frostgrave, and he starts, it's going to be a series of videos, and he comes right out of the gate and hits you right in the face and hooks you and brings you in, because that's what Rodney does, and that's what makes Rodney Rodney, plain and simple. The very first video I ever saw of Rodney was Mansions of Madness, and that's when he had it under his name. It was just his name, Rodney Smith. That's it. That was the channel. Then it became Watch It Played, and you watched him, Andrea, and his son just, you know, evolve the channel. And then you just watch as this channel just evolves into what has to be the benchmark for board game videos. Rodney Smith is one of, if not the best around. Just a fantastic job with the Frostgrave. I love how it's just laid out so clear, concise. Makes you want to pick up the book, makes you want to pick up the figures and just go right at it. A fantastic job. Wonderfully produced, wonderfully put together, well spoken, passionate, all those things that we always talk about here, and all the things I wish I could be. And you never hear those people say like I do. They're just fantastic, and this was just a fantastic week for videos. Just absolutely fantastic. A couple other people that I have to honorably mention: Gaming Rules. Check out some of their stuff they done last week. Absolutely, Paul, you're just great. Let's just put it right on the line. And Ant Labs, him and Francis are just hitting their stride and killing it old school. But the games weren't memorable for me that they did this week. They weren't my cup of tea, but that's why we point out the ones that really hit home and really get me interested and really turn it up. So we're going to do this every week. I'm going to talk about all the videos I saw this week, or the ones that really stood out for me, and we're going to make this a weekly segment. We'll see how it goes. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it. I don't know. We'll find out. But I can tell you one thing. Until next time, it is your old pal Rob, and we will see you soon at Origins.